We were talking about the scoring earlier, where a K represents a strikeout. Jim Thome, a victim.
Look at the package here. Curveball misses, ball one. There's a slider in on the hand, swing and a miss, 1-1. Another slider fouled back, 1-2. Backdoor slider to the corner, call strike 3.
6 strikeouts in the game for David Cone. They hang a K. 7 rather, 6 every time he gets one. They got 6 up there now.
The reason why that last one was Thome didn't offer, because all the other previous pitches had been inside. He wasn't looking away.
Now Bernie Williams looks to bunt against Nagy, who's given up 3 runs on 6 hits.
Caught Travis Fryman's back. Now Travis Fryman comes in even with the bag at third. If Bernie had gotten a good pitch, he would have bunted that towards third and beaten it out.
RBI single in the first inning for Bernie Williams when the Yankees got 2 runs. Fouls that one off outside of first, off the handle that time, and a 1-1 count. Bernie adding to his RBI totals now with 4 in the series.
He's been a patient hitter in this series. He's walked 6 times against Cleveland. Early in the series, he had Tino Martinez behind him, who wasn't swinging the bat very well. Well, he's still behind him, 2 spots behind him.
.290 career hitter in the postseason, the best of the New York Yankees, who've had that many games played. He's played 33 postseason games. Paul O'Neill not far behind him at .296. Tino Martinez struggles the other way. .212 career postseason for Martinez. 2-1 delivery, outside corner, strike call, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bernie Williams questioning the call.
Yeah, sometimes you just say friendly to the umpire. I had enough at corner. And the umpire said, yeah, sure did. If you hit it, it'd gone out of the ballpark.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Breaking ball and up high. He really didn't want to go after that, but it fouled off anyway. 2-2.
Yeah, one thing that happened, Charles Nagy, the first couple of innings, his pitches have been up, and he's not as overpowering as David Cone, so he has to keep the ball down. Bernie Williams didn't mean to swing at that. That would have been ball 3. And he knows leading off the inning, you got to be a little patient, and if you have to, you take a walk to get on base.
Nagy surrendered 66 walks in the regular season. Bernie Williams has got a base hit to center field. So Williams 2 for 2 in this ball game, 7 for 19 now in the series, and a leadoff single in the third.
Yeah, Bernie Williams did not have a good division series against the Texas Rangers. The Yankees pitched so well that they swept Texas, allowed them just 1 run in the 3-game sweep of the 5-game series. Now here's Bernie Williams, whose bat is starting to heat up here in the ALCS. And his second straight hit, and his second hit into center field.
Kenny Lofton got it back in. Williams on at first. With nobody out, Chili Davis, who picked up the RBI on a sac fly, is 5th, team leading 5th in this series.
But unlike a lot of the Yankees, Chili's only been up 11 times. There have been others who have DH'd in this series. Tim Raines a couple of times.
Darryl Strawberry, of course, out at DH much of the season. Breaking ball towards second base. Enrique Wilson. Vizquel couldn't stay in the bag. He's going to argue. An error on Wilson.
Well, it was a tough play because Wilson was going away from second base and then tried to get the lead runner. Mike Hargrove very close to coming out of the dugout and arguing. Let's see if Vizquel stays on the bag. Yeah, he's got that right foot right on the bag. Bernie Williams should be out. And Vizquel made a heck of a play catching the ball and keeping that foot on the bag. But instead, the call is safe at second when it should not have been.
Well, another missed call. Vizquel argued momentarily. Dino Martinez now runners at first and second. Ted Hendry, he was behind the plate on a lot of discussions by both teams in the game he umpired at the plate, believing both players on both sides believing the ball strike calls that game were not good. 2 on, nobody out. Tino Martinez, 2 errors in the game on the Indians. Breaking ball in for a strike. It was somewhat ironic in that, in talking with Mike Hargrove, the Cleveland manager, before the game, what might be the big advantage for the club facing Cone in this game? Hendry's not behind the plate.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Popped up. Third base. Not a lot of room over there. Fryman, no play. Martinez picked up a single his first time up. He's got 2 strikes on him here. That's 7 hits in the game for the Yankees, along with 2 Cleveland errors. Nagy has not struck anybody out. Hargrove can't believe the call. Williams and Davis, the base runners. Infield looking for the ground ball for 2. And Nagy, when he's on, gets a lot of ground balls because generally he has a good sinking fastball. But as Kenny's noted, so far in this game, he's been up.
Yeah, pitches have been up, and the infielders have not been that busy. Only 3 ground ball outs that I see. 1 to Vizquel and 2 to Wilson at second.
2 ball, 2 strike count on Tino Martinez. Nagy 1-0 against the Yankees during the regular season, 7-8 in his career regular season, and 0-1 in the postseason against them. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Nasty breaking ball down and in to Tino Martinez. First strikeout.
Well, one thing the strikeout does, no runners advance, and that picks up the first out and sets up a double play to get out of the inning. Tino Martinez thinks this is a fastball as it approaches the plate, but it has a nasty break on it as he swings over the top and is struck out. So the troubles for Tino Martinez continue as he strikes out with a couple of men on here and doesn't advance anybody.
Only 1 RBI in this series for Tino Martinez. Big out for Charles Nagy. Now Leday, who grounded out his first time up, first and second with 1 away. Hit in the air, center field. Kenny Lofton. A lot of room in the Meadowlands here at Yankee Stadium in center. Williams will move over to third. Vizquel, Wilson take the relay throw. 2 down.
A long way to center field here at Yankee Stadium. As we look at the dimensions of this 75-year-old ballpark, which this has not always been the dimensions here. They've changed over the years. 318 down the line, 399 deep in left center field, 408 to center. Long poke that way, 385 to right center, and only 314 down the short right field line.
See, the old wall was the back part, way back. The new wall's the one you see on the left up front. It was even longer in the outfield. Center field, Brosius. This one may be long enough. Way back. Goodbye home run. Scott Brosius, a 3-run homer. And the Yankees take a 6-0 lead.
Now, when a team scores 3 runs with 2 outs on 1 swing of the bat, it is very demoralizing to the opposition. And Scott Brosius takes the curtain call here at the stadium.
His second postseason home run this year, first in this series. A huge blow against the Indians. Joe Girardi with 2 down. Brosius.
Well, he hit that line drive to the wall in left center. Remember the one that Giles caught? Kenny Lofton's not going to catch this one. That's well over 400 feet.
To right field, Ramirez over and makes the catch. Girardi retired, but 3 runs on 2 hits. An error. Nobody left on base. Nagy giving up the homer. 3 unearned runs because of that error on the missed call at second base. The Yankees in a clinch game may do it here. 6-0 over Cleveland. Did you know Atlanta Braves first baseman Andres Galarraga loves to paint when he's not on the field? Boston Red Sox shortstop Nomar Garcia Perez, a big soccer fan. You'd know it if you watch Baseball Max. Each week, bringing you highlights from the American and National Leagues along with player profiles, instruction, and more. Baseball Max, check your local listings for the times in your country. Well, David Cohn's got a ton to work with now. And for Nagy, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 3 in the third off him, with Brosius delivering the big 3-run homer. Outside to Fryman. Nagy last year, game 7. Suffered the loss. Hoped this year there would be some redemption for him and for the Indians. You can see the downward look right now, and why not? Travis Fryman chasing Laredo 1-2.
They got that pitch up to Brosius, and very dangerous to Scott Brosius when you elevate a ball about belt high or just a little bit higher.
1-2 delivery is outside. Scott Brosius has 3 home runs against Nagy coming into this postseason. He hit 3 off him and gets another one here in the postseason. 4 in his career. Swung on and missed. Cohn piling up the Ks now. He's got 7. Career high 19 strikeouts back in 1991.
This is a great slider. Fryman will start the bat and the ball will disappear. It's not where he thought it was.
Cohn had those 19 when he was pitching for the New York Mets. Got them against Philadelphia in the National League. He has 7. And we're only in the 4th inning. Brian Giles a single. That's the hit he's got. Came in his last at bat. Inside corner strike 1-1.
Strikeout pitchers usually have power, but they also have precision. And when David Cohn has a good breaking ball working, along with a good fastball, slider in on the hands right there.
Play at the plate. Girardi gets rid of the mask. 2 down. David Cohn looking to be the clinch master. He's had the opportunity before. David Cohn has been in potential clinch situations 4 other times. 1992 Toronto in the ALCS, he lost a clinch, was non-decision in the World Series. And he's been in that situation before. Alomar takes the pitch down low. There you see the list. His 5th start in decisive games. 92 with Toronto. 95 the division series. Foul back with the Yankees in the division series in 95. He had a no decision, and then in 1998 had that, this year of course, had that win in the division clincher over Texas. A 1-ball 1-strike count on Alomar as the Cleveland Indian faces are well down 1-2.
They should be, because of the fact they've fallen behind early in the ball game 6-0. They're watching David Cohn and how he's working. He has worked them over with 7 strikeouts and maybe an 8th here as he's facing Sandy Alomar Jr. So they know David Cohn's going to have to fall off a cliff for them to win.
Foul back. Cohn 1-0 in this postseason with a minuscule .66 ERA. Andy Pettit probably would be the starter if there was a game 7. Joe Torre refused to answer that question again today. It may not matter. 1-2 delivery. Alomar to center field. Bernie Williams for the first time in the game are retired in order. David Cone setting him down. And Nagy is done for the night. Cleveland will go to the bullpen. New York Yankees with a chance to end this series with a victory here tonight and a big 6-0 lead going to the bottom of the 4th inning. The ALCS game being seen live around the world by U.S. servicemen and women and their families on the American Forces Network. Now in its 56th year of serving, the U.S. military stationed overseas. Delighted to have all of you with us here in the Bronx, New York at Yankee Stadium. And thanks for the email we've had from men and women of the armed forces around the world. Dave Burba out of the bullpen. Charles Nagy is gone.
Charles Nagy, 3 innings, 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 strikeout, didn't walk anybody. Burba was used as a starter for most of the regular season, but in the postseason has been working out of the bullpen.
Dave Burba last appeared in game 4, worked 3 1/3 innings, gave up 1 run, 1 hit, struck out 4, walked 3. Non-decisioned in the game, but pitched well. Chuck Knobloch leads it off against him, and a fastball for a strike. Knobloch has contributed with a double in the 2nd inning, grounded out first at bat. Run scored on that hit he had in the 2nd, but he was not credited with an RBI. That one popped up first base. Jim Thome in foul territory. 1 down. Most runs the Yankees have scored is 7 in game 1. 7 runs on 11 hits in that game. They've already got 6 runs and 8 hits in this one.
Here's a look at Chris Chambliss, who came up through the Cleveland Indians organization. He wasn't in the minor leagues long, just 1 year. Won the batting title in AAA and was Rookie of the Year in the American Association. Came up to Cleveland in 1971 and was the Rookie of the Year in the American League. And that's never happened to any other Major League Baseball player.
Unique.
Rookie of the Year in his first year in the minor leagues. Next year coming to the major leagues and was Rookie of the Year with the Cleveland Indians in 1971. And this is a guy who knows something about hitting a pennant winning home run. 1976, homered for the Yankees in the League Championship Series against the Kansas City Royals to win the pennant.
Now coaching the Yankee hitters, Chris Chambliss. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Jeter. 1 for 2, a single and a run scored in the 1st inning. For Derek Jeter, 4 hits, 22 at bats in this series, and a chopper to short broke the bat. Omar Vizquel hurried. Oh, you got to get it over there. He almost beat that one out. Vizquel almost had his first postseason errors. He had a little trouble getting that into the throwing hand. 2 down.
Any infielder on the left side of the infield in the American League knows when Jeter hits the ball, you got to get it over there. Gets it by about a half a step on that slow roller to the left side. Yep, almost juggled it, transferring from glove to hand. But still, Omar Vizquel streak is intact.
If he gets through this game without an error, it will be a new record, as he will break Mark Belanger's mark of 17 consecutive ALCS games without an error. That's the glove. It may be gold again this year. Paul O'Neill striking the outside corner. Burba coming on and throwing strikes. 0-2. With Charles Nagy out of there now, the Cleveland starters in 10 postseason games this year have posted a 5.56 earned run average. Wow, is that high?
Yeah, the bullpen's been pretty good. That's what saved them. But the starting pitching, you're not going to beat many teams in a series with an ERA that high.
They've only won 2 games in the postseason. They are 2-4. Not good numbers for the starters. Game 1, Jarrett Wright didn't last the first. Game 5, Chad O.J. out in the 2nd. Tonight, Nagy out in the 3rd. All Cleveland starters who went very little distance into the game. Doc Gooden did not have a good outing in his start. He too suffered. That's been the abysmal area for the Cleveland Indians here in this postseason. It's been the starters. bullpen has done a good job, but by the time they've gotten into a game, the games have all but been over. 2 down, nobody on. 3-2 count to Paul O'Neill, and Burba gets the strikeout on the outside corner. So for the first time tonight, the Yankees are retired in order as Dave Burba comes out of the pen and sets them down 1-2-3. We've completed 4 here in Game 6. Yankees looking to clinch, have the lead. New York Yankees with a 6-0 lead in this game at Yankee Stadium, where they won 62 games and lost only 19 during the regular season. Obviously a packed house on hand here for tonight's ball game. The Yankees have won 10 of 12 postseason series where they entered the 6th game with a 3-2 lead. 10 of 12, looking to add to that here tonight. They of course would get time off. The World Series will be starting on Saturday at the home of the American League team. Enrique Wilson, and he lofts that one into right for a base hit in front of Paul O'Neill. So Wilson is on 1 for 2 in the game, 3 for 12 in the series, and the 4th hit off David Thome. It's the 3rd time in 5 innings the Indians have been able to get the leadoff man on base, but it hasn't meant much to them as they've stranded 5.
Well, the thing about every previous inning, David Cohn's had at least 1 strikeout. So that means that at least one guy doesn't advance anybody, doesn't set the rest of the inning up for the hitters following him into the order.
4 out of 5 innings. 4 out of 5 leadoff man on for Cleveland. That generally means runs. Kenny Lofton has singled and walked in this game. Cohn missing down low to him, ball 1.
Well, Lofton with the good speed, of course, being able to bunt, and Scott Brosius in on the grass again.
Off-speed delivery for a strike, 1-1.
Be interesting to see if Lofton tries to slap one by him if he gets a pitch out over the plate.
He'll try and put it between 3rd and short. Not on that pitch. David Cohn jammed him right off the top hand of the bat, 1-2.
Here's a look at the last pitch. Boy, that was centered. He had a good cut, but a little late. That's what I mean. David Cohn a little overpowering. There's Scott Brosius dropping back with 2 strikes. Doesn't think Lofton will bunt.
Just missed outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Cohn wanted that one, didn't get it.
He wanted that backdoor slider. The one that the left-hand hitters kind of give up on. They think it's going to be outside. Then it dips for the corner, and he picks up a strike.
Remember, 100 pitches is where they get worried about David Cohn. That one lofted towards right center field. O'Neill won't have a play on that one. He'll have to play it on the hop. Wilson will go to 3rd, and the Indians have their first 2 on. Runners at 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Lofton, who came into this game 3 for 23, now has got 2 hits and a walk in 3 plate appearances.
This is a split finger that kind of hangs up right in the middle of the plate for Lofton to hit. See, that one doesn't do very much, and Lofton hits a kind of a humpback line drive into right center field for the base hit. O'Neill coming over, slow footing out there in the outfield, and plays it on a hop.
That will bring Mel Stottlemyre out to talk with David Cohn, discussing about the placement of that last pitch. You saw right there, he said, "I'm all right." Yankees are not going to go too deep here if there's any question about the effectiveness of whoever is on the mound.
And if I read Mel Stottlemyre's lips correctly, he said, "Let's get a ground ball here," which could mean a double play. He's got the speedy runner at first and a speedy runner at the plate in Omar Vizquel.
Yankee bullpen will be active. Omar Vizquel takes a strike on the inside corner. Graham Lloyd, the left-hander. Mario Mendoza, the right-hander. Vizquel, switch hitter, 1st and 3rd. Nobody out. Stays inside to him again. Missed with that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The other night I was talking about the shortstops from Venezuela, and I left out Chico Carrasquel, who was the first of all of them.
Good play. That one hits the umpire, Hendry. Run will score. And Cleveland finally gets an umpiring break.
Now this is not a break because the runner Wilson will have to go back to third base. A fielder has to have a chance to make the play before if the umpire is hit with a ball. Now a fielder did not have a chance to make the play. The ball hit the umpire, and that means Wilson will go back to third base. Lofton will go to second, and I believe Vizquel will be credited with a base hit. Wilson will not score.
Now the question is, would that ball have been playable if it doesn't hit Hendry, the second base umpire?
I don't think so. I think the ball would have gone into center field for a base hit.
Torrey wants to know what the ruling is.
The ruling is that Vizquel will get a base hit. But the runners, unless they are moved up by Vizquel, only can advance one base, and that means that Wilson has to stay at third. Here's a look at it again. Solid line drive. See, the ball would have gone into the outfield for a base hit, but when it hit Hendry, no Yankee infielder had a chance to make the play. If they had, then
Mike Hargrove's going to be going, is Ted Henry really paid by the Yankees? He missed the call at second base that set up the 3-run homer by Brosius. He had the game at the plate where everybody argued with his balls and strikes. Now he gets hit at second base on a play that would have gone through and scored a run. David Justice, wouldn't you know it? Bases loaded. Breaking ball missed outside. Ball one. It's the second time we've had an umpire at second base involved in a play on a throw down to second base from the catcher. That one fouled off. The second base umpire was hit, preventing a play being made.
It was Jim McKean.
He's the home plate umpire in this game.
That is one of the most embarrassing things for an umpire, to be hit by a batted ball.
Bases loaded, nobody out. David Justice trying to generate some big runs here. Cohn's pitch to him, missed inside. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
What David Cohn is trying to do now is minimize the damage in this inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. He's trying to, well, maybe just give up one run if he can.
He'll play for a double play and a ground ball. 2-1 delivery is inside. 3 balls and 1 strike on David Justice. You see the Cleveland Indians, anything to get it going. Justice went 3 for 8 with the bases loaded this year. Did not have a grand slam home run. 3-1 delivery. Ball 4, walked a run in. So Cleveland gets on the board on a bases loaded walk to David Justice. Enrique Wilson scores, and it is a 6-1 Yankee lead.
Well, he finally got home.
Third walk given up by David Cohn.
And from the Indian standpoint, better late than never.
And Justice does get credited with an RBI. Now Joe Torre has come out and is going to make a medical visit. They go to the home plate umpire to say we're going out because we're concerned about something physically wrong with David Cohn.
That is assistant trainer Steve Donahue going out there with Joe Torre. And why Jim McKean goes out there as well, he makes sure there is no discussion of strategy. Everything is of a physical nature about the pitcher. And David Cohn has assured Joe Torre that he is okay, and everybody departs.
You can only go out to visit your pitcher, any of the coaches, only one time in any given half inning. But if you go out for medical purposes, it doesn't count as that time.
If you go out that second time, he's automatically out of the game.
Bases remain loaded, and here's Ramirez, the heart of this Cleveland order now, coming up against David Cohn. They've not been able to produce runs in this series. Still nobody out. And a strike on the outside corner. Ramirez has had a walk and has struck out. He is 0 for 4 against David Cone in this series. 6 for 21 against him in the regular season. And Ramirez takes it outside for a ball.
Now the faces on the Indians bench have a little more hope to them. The expressions.
They've had chances, as we mentioned, in this ball game, having left 5 on coming into the inning. Ramirez had 2 grand slams during the regular season. Breaking ball missed outside. He had 8 hits in 16 at-bats with the bases loaded. A .500 hitter with the bases loaded, including 2 grand slams from Manny Ramirez.
David Cone is just missing with that slider now. The Indians are laying off of it, making him come into the strike zone.
2 ball, 1 strike count. That's on the outside corner. 2-2 to Ramirez.
He's gotten 2 strikes with the fastball and missed with 2 sliders. I don't think he wants to go to a full count. And the only pitch he's been able to control in this inning more or less has been his fastball.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Bases loaded, nobody out. Ramirez is strikeout victim number 8.
Well, the Coneheads get a little busy.
2 times he struck out tonight.
Let's see what this pitch is. I don't think it was fastball. It was a slider that kind of hung. Remember the creativity. This is a different type of pitch. He drops down sidearm. It picks up the strikeout. You see the reaction of the crowd.
Now Jim Thome drills it deep right field, way back. Goodbye. Grand slam home run into the upper deck by Jim Thome. And the Cleveland Indians are back in this game. It is 6-5.
They had the right man up at the right time. He has been their hottest home run hitter, and he gets up there with the bases loaded and goes way back in the upper deck here at Yankee Stadium.
What a shot for the Cleveland Indians, who must win to keep this season alive. Jim Thome's put him back in the game. A 1-run game, 5 runs on 7 hits now off David Cone.
This pitch is right there from right down the middle of the plate, and somebody has a souvenir in the far reaches of Yankee Stadium.
4 home runs in this series. The other 3 came off left-handers. Thome got to David Cone on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike count, and foul back, only 1 away. Travis Fryman will try and keep it going, and Thome celebrates.
Remember the looks on the faces of the Cleveland Indians at the beginning of the inning? Now look. Quite a startling change.
He did not have a grand slam during the regular season. Saved it. 1-2 delivery, fouled off on the slider away, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Fryman.
Now with a home run by Thome. The pressure now falls on Dave Berber to try and hold the Yankee bats quiet.
He came out throwing strikes, Kenny. He looked good to start anyway. 1-2 delivery. That one hit in the air, left center field. Ricky Leday is over and will put it away. Fryman is retired. He's 0 for 3. And there are 2 down here in the 5th inning. David Cone surrendered 20 home runs during the regular season. 12 to left-handers. That's one he'd like to have back.
Wow, that pitch was right. Thome couldn't have called for a better pitch to hit. It was right in the middle of the plate, and when he hit it, he knew it was gone.
So these two teams who have struggled in this series to score runs have now put up 11 of them combined on 15 hits in this game.
A lot of good hitters in both these lineups, and you can only hold them down but so long.
2 down, bases empty. Giles up. This is the 8th man up in the inning. Giles 1 for 2 with a single. Burba's on in relief of Charles Nagy, who gave up all 6 runs. To left field, a day coming, and he's got it. But Cleveland delivers the big blow from Charles Nagy, from David Cone rather, to Thome, a grand slam home run. The other came on a bases loaded walk. Well, here at Yankee Stadium, they had started to celebrate what they thought might be a win. Jim Thome has quieted that.
Yeah, with Jim Thome, we mentioned that he had broken his hand earlier and then came back for a while and wasn't swinging the bat well. And he didn't swing the bat well in the division series against the Red Sox, but in this series against the Yankees, he has found his stroke again.
David Cone struck Thome out 3 times. First time he faced him in this series, and it struck him out again in this game after Thome had a single in his first at bat. And then Thome launched it. So it is a 6-5 Yankee lead now as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Dave Burba working to Williams, who's 2 for 2. 2 singles, a run scored, and an RBI. And the pitch is inside for a ball. Burba falls behind 2-0. Bernie Williams now with 7 hits and 19 at bats in this series. League's leading hitter has come on strong against the Indians. Burba's 2-0s whipped foul into the seats. 2 ball 1 strike count.
The thing about the Yankee offense right now, they know they still have the lead by 1 run, but they can hear those footsteps of the Cleveland Indians coming. The Indians are all fired up now. The momentum in this game has shifted over to the other side of the field. So what the Yankees offense has to do, they have to come back and score some runs. Regain somewhat of a more comfortable lead if they can.
And Burba misses inside. 3 ball 1 strike count. 3 walks by David Cone, 8 strikeouts. Charles Nagy didn't walk anybody but gave up the 8 hits and 6 runs. Scott Brosius, the big blow for the Yankees in the game with a home run in the 3rd inning. 3-run shot. 3-1 delivery by Burba's down low, and he walks the leadoff batter.
That's the 7th time that Bernie Williams has walked in this series.
Being very careful with Bernie Williams, the Cleveland pitchers.
Yeah, but leading off an inning, you got to throw him strikes. Well, we talked about the all-time postseason home runs. Mickey Mantle, Reggie Jackson, Babe Ruth, Manny Ramirez, Yogi Berra, and now Jim Thome in 44 games. 2 Indians and 4 Yankees on that list.
And another discussion at the mound as Cleveland got to have effective pitching right now. Steve Reed, the right-hander. Jim Poole, the left-hander. They just got up to throw in the pen. Remember, Cleveland's in a must-win situation. They lose and it's over, and the Yankees win the American League pennant.
Gary, we just showed that list of postseason home runs. And in all fairness to Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra, who made that list, they did it in only World Series games. There were no American League Championship Series or Division Series. And Jim Thome and Reggie Jackson and Manny Ramirez have gotten their home runs in earlier rounds than the World Series. But they're still considered postseason home runs.
The old asterisk problem.
Yeah, well, in Mickey Mantle's and Yogi Berra's days with the Yankees, they went to the World Series just about every year.
Yep. Jim Thome's hoping to get there along with Ramirez this time. Chili Davis up, runner at first base, nobody out. Burba gets a strike on the outside corner. National League off, of course, today. The Atlanta Braves down 3-0. 2 wins in San Diego have taken that series back to Atlanta. 2 winners, of course, go on to the World Series. 0-1 count. Burba. Fastballs down low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Davis.
Yeah, from this point on, this game is going to boil down to a battle of the bullpens. And both bullpens in this series have been very effective.
You mentioned the Cleveland bullpen hasn't lost a game. They've won 3. They've pitched much better than the starters. The Cleveland starters, as we mentioned, their ERA up over 5.5 runs a game, while the bullpen is 2.98 for a combined ERA in the postseason coming into this game.
Now we just saw Burba rubbing up the ball, and people out there might wonder why does he do that? What he does, it kind of takes the slickness off the ball and get a better grip.
2-1 delivery. That grip worked that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Chili Davis had a good swing at this pitch. Actually just had enough movement away from him to cause the swing and a miss. The pitch kind of looked like it was in the middle, but it was tailing away.
Tough pitch to pull the ball on.
Yeah, you're thinking right center or left center on a pitch like that.
Williams at first with nobody out. 2-2 the count. And Burba will have to do it again on the foul ball straight back. 6 runs, 8 hits, an error for the Yankees. 5 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors from the Indians. And right now, some big unearned runs. 3 unearned runs in that 3rd inning on the Brosius home run resulting from the error charged to Enrique Wilson at second base, which on the replay showed there should have been an out at second, and there wasn't. So he got charged with an error. Throw over to first. Williams back on the belly. Ted Henry, the man who's been in the middle of a lot of things here in this series. It's kind of ironic. I mean, coming in before the series ever started, you talk to anybody covering, they said, guarantee you the umpires will be a story in this series. They are. 2-2 the count. Williams not going. Davis check swing is gone. Burba gets the strikeout. That will be his 2nd. 1 down.
Kept the ball down and was able to get Chili Davis out after all of those pitches up. Chili Davis, a good low ball hitter. That looked to be a splitter. So what pitchers like to do, and why Chili Davis struck out, because the ball is towards the middle of the plate. If the pitch is away, outside or inside, he won't swing at it. And you saw him go around far enough for the strikeout.
Check swing strikeout. Now Tito Martinez. He has singled and struck out on the 5th foul back. Hey, didn't we have an email about check swings?
Yeah, we did. Could you please explain to me how far the batter must go around for a strike to be called? And that's from Martin Partridge in Auckland, New Zealand. And you saw Chili Davis. When Chili came around far enough, usually umpires, when they see that the barrel of the bat go in front of home plate, they'll call that a swing. That's good enough.
Martinez, the 0-1 pitch is in there. Took something off the fastball. 0-2 the count.
This is a check swing, but Chili Davis will indeed go around far enough. So he's trying to hold the bat back, but he can't do it. See, he tried to check it, but then the bat followed through, and that's a swing.
0-2 delivery, swung on and missed. Burba gets his 3rd strikeout. There you see that pitch tailing away again from the right-hander.
Dave Burba's got a good little rhythm going. I know he walked Bernie Williams to start the inning, but once he got to the stretch position, he settled right down, striking out Chili Davis and now Tito Martinez. Watch this pitch go down and away. Another split finger as Tito Martinez has struck out.
Tino now 2 hits and 19 at bats in the series, on a few boos as he went back to the dugout from his own Yankee fans here. Timeout taken, 2 down. 6-5 Yankees on top. Ricky Leday getting the start in left field, is grounded out and flied out. Leday went 1 for 3 off Burba during the regular season. Bernie Williams leadoff walk, still at first base. Strike 1. Want to remind you, we'd love to hear from you on our email. Any questions, comments, say hi to us at www.worldseries.com. Get online right now, and we will recognize as many of those emails as we can. Nowhere near able to get all of them, but we do read them all and appreciate your sending them along.
Chad Curtis looking on. Ricky Leday got the start tonight in left field.
The left fielders were 1 for 18. Shane Spencer, Tim Raines, who's really struggling, knees really bothering him. Pitches outside, 1 for 18 coming into this, and Leday has gone 0 for 2. So Joe Torre said, why not?
Well, I
try
think
somebody.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get to see if Ricky Leday can get some big hits in big situations here.
2 ball, 1 strike count. 2 down, runner on at first base. Leday working the count to his favor off Dave Burba.
You know, sometimes when a manager makes a move and puts somebody new in, well, that player, of course, wants to get in there and do well and maybe hold on to a job for a while.
Also looking ahead to the future. I mean, if they're struggling out there in left field to have somebody to play, for people like Leday, it's an opportunity. You do well here, you may have a job next year.
Well, Leday does have the tools. The only problem he had during the course of the year, he struck out much too much. He only had 79 at bats, but he struck out 29 times, which is a too high a ratio. He can play an excellent outfield. Has a strong arm. Good range out in left field. You need it here at Yankee Stadium. Covers a lot of ground.
And missed inside to take the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 0 for 2 in this game. Leday has played in only 3 games in the postseason and has only 3 at-bats. Cleveland bullpen remains active. 3-2 count, 2 down. Williams at first will be running on the pitch. He does to second base. Enrique Wilson's got this one over to Jim Thome, and that will do it. So Dave Burba survives a leadoff walk in the inning. 1 left on base by the Yankees. Cleveland Indians must win to keep their season alive. They trail by 1. A good ball game as the Yankees try and clinch the American League pennant for the 35th time, while the Indians try and keep their season alive. Yankees lead it by 1. And a full house, seeing a good ball game. David Cone will leave the game after 5 innings. Could be the winning pitcher. 5 runs, 7 hits off him. Walked 3 and struck out 8.
Young man from Los Santos, Panama, Ramiro Mendoza, will come on and do the pitching for the Yankees. You can see his record outstanding. 10-2 on the year. Not many strikeouts, not many walks. Excellent control. His forte is getting the ground ball out. His nickname is El Brujo, the witch doctor, because his pitches move so much.
El Brujo.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is just his 2nd appearance in the postseason. Both have been against Cleveland. He's worked an inning and a third in a game, gave up no runs on 3 hits. So Mendoza's on, Sandy Alomar's up. Alomar the only man not to hit in the 5th inning for the Indians. Down to 3rd, great stop, Brosius. Plenty of time, got him.
One thing that Scott Brosius brought to the Yankees this year was an excellent third base. The ability to play third base. Now, he made a lot of errors during the course of the year, but he's capable of making this spectacular play, as he does right here, wrapping Sandy Alomar of a 2-base hit.
So Alomar finally hits one hard, and they make the defensive play on him. Sandy Alomar cannot buy one here. He's had just 1 hit in 16 at-bats in this series.
Do you notice when Brosius got up how much time he had to throw across the diamond? Because Alomar having a tough time running down to down to first.
Enrique Wilson takes a strike. Alomar playing in pain. Knees and back really bothering him. Wilson picked up a single to lead off that 5th inning. He ignited it and scored one of the runs, one of the 5 runs on 4 hits in the 5th off David Cone.
Ramirez said Ramiro Mendoza has a good sinker and a good curve and a good change.
Toward short, Derek Jeter. 2 down. We want to remind you, if there is a game 7, Cleveland must win for that to happen. We would have it for you tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern, midnight Greenwich Mean Time. Bartolo Colon will definitely start for Cleveland. Andy Pettit may start if there's a game 7 for the Yankees. El Duque, Orlando Hernandez is the other name being mentioned as a possible starter. Joe Torre has not made that decision, or at least has been unwilling to announce it. He said it would be bad karma to talk about game 7 at this point. So Pettit on the left, El Duque, Orlando Hernandez on the right, the 2 who might start a game 7. But that only happens if Cleveland wins this game. Kenny Lofton has finally had himself a big ball game in the leadoff spot, as he has picked up 2 singles and a walk in 3 plate appearances.
First 2 outs are on the ground, and if Ramiro Mendoza continues to work this way, infielders will be busy, particularly to that breaking ball. He has a good breaking ball, but the sinker is his best pitch. Just when hitters go to swing at it, the ball sinks and they top it and hit the ground balls.
Fans tried to make it a strike, but it's outside. 1-2. 26 years old, 6-1 as a starter, 4-1 as a reliever. Fouled off. He had 14 game starts. ERA was 3.87 in 88 innings. Worked in relief 27 times and a 1.93 ERA. It's the almost Halloween time. 1-2 delivery. Just missed again.
Mendoza had been a starter early in the season, but around June, just before the midway point in the season, El Duque came to the major leagues, and Ramiro Mendoza went to the bullpen.
Joe Torre has had the unique advantage in a day and age where pitching is so difficult to find at the major league level, to have 6 starters on his staff.
And one as versatile as Mendoza, who went to the bullpen and continued to do a good job.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bases empty. Toward second base, Knobloch. Nifty play. So 3 ground ball outs as Ramiro Mendoza retires. All 3 he faces. Little help from his D, a couple of good plays, and the Yankees lead it by 1. Beautiful shot of Yankee Stadium with the fans, Yankee fans, hoping that tonight's the night they clinch a pennant. 6-5, Yankees lead it. Dave Burba still on the mound for the Indians. Scott Brosius, last time up, 3rd inning. Big blow. Brosius this time to short. Vizquel, the human vacuum cleaner, commits an error. Omar Vizquel has had his streak ended.
Well, this crowd is stunned, and so is Mike Hargrove. His first error ever in the postseason. Let's see if there's any clue as to why a bad throw. Now, everything seemed to line up all right. Maybe just had too much time. And overthrows Jim Thome. It's a routine play. He just threw it away. Wow.
47 postseason games. He commits the error in the first and the 47th.
Plenty of time. It just sails and over Thome off the glove, and Brosius is safe. Wow.
So Mark Belage's record will not be broken. Vizquel had tied him, but needed to get through this game for an American League Series record without an error. Joe Girardi, that's 3 errors now in the Indians, and it has cost them. Brosius has been involved in all of it. Brosius hit the home run in the 3rd inning, a 3-run shot, and all 3 runs are unearned. Now leading off the 6th inning, he reaches base on an error. Joe Girardi has singled and flied out. Burba, the bunt is fouled. That's where a pitcher wants the ball if a guy at the plate's trying to bunt against him.
They almost got him right on the hand as Girardi fouls the ball off. Now, one thing that Joe Torre likes to do with Joe Girardi at the plate, he's a good contact hitter. He likes to start Scott Brosius and have Girardi put the ball in play. So he might try and cross up the Indians infield, which is looking for the bunt right here, and go with the hit and run. You can see Travis Fryman in on the grass at 3rd.
Nobody out. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Squares again, takes a strike, 1-2.
Here's a sign for Willie Randolph. 3rd base coach, 6-time All-Star with the Yankees. Relays the signs to Girardi and Brosius.
Brosius and Girardi were the 2 leading sack men on the Yankees in the regular season with 8 sack bunts apiece. Gets away, down he goes. Alomar's throw, not in time. Brosius will take 2nd base on the wild pitch.
I always see the Yankees a couple of times in this series get breaks on wild pitches. Good read by Brosius over at first base. He saw the ball in the dirt off the chest protector far enough away that Sandy Alomar Jr. did not have a chance to throw him out. Good instincts and good moves on the bases by Brosius.
Burba has had 2 wild pitches in the postseason. He led the ball club with 6 during the regular season. So this could be a real manufactured run. Brosius reaching on an error, getting 2nd on a wild pitch, and Girardi will step out as Alomar has trouble getting the signs down with Dave Burba.
Well, the signs change when a runner goes down to 2nd base. They become a little bit more complicated. They don't want the runner at 2nd to be able to relay pitches or location to the hitter at the plate.
Nobody out. 2-2 delivery. Girardi drills it down the line. It is a foul ball.
Well, the Indians have certainly opened the door for the Yankees in this inning. First, the unexpected, and it comes around, I guess, once like Haley's Comet, the error by Omar Vizquel. Then the wild pitch to move Brosius down to 2nd base. Of all the Indians, that's the last man you would think that would have a miscue.
2-2 count again. Brosius off 2nd. Fouled the other way this time by Girardi.
One thing the Yankees did a lot during the course of the season, making productive outs. And what I mean by that is when they have runners, they move them up. Even if you make it out, you set it up for the next guy and move the runner along at least 90 feet.
Girardi wants to hit the ball if it's on the ground to the right side of the infield, the 1st or 2nd, so the runner can advance. 2-2 pitch. Missed outside. 3-2.
The target's away. The pitch is just a little bit too far outside. See Sandy Alomar trying to kind of edge that thing back towards the corner, but Jim McKean wouldn't call it.
Fans up at Yankee Stadium. 3-2. And Girardi's on with a walk. Two walks off Burba. Now 2 on. Nobody out.
Bunt situation for the Yankees. There's Mark Wiley's going to go out to the mound. And a lot of times when you're if you don't make the perfect bunt, you want the pitcher to field the ball. The pitcher is usually the worst fielder in the infield. So Mark Wiley's going to come out. They're going to set their defensive posture. We've seen the Indians run the wheel play, trying to get the force at third base, and you can do that when you have a shortstop like Omar Vizquel, who's speedy. Fryman's a good fielder at third, also a former shortstop. So they're talking about what to expect. I think everybody in the ballpark knows that Chuck Knobloch should be bunting to move the runners along with nobody out.
All of the infielders are in as they listen to how Hargrove wants to play this as Wiley goes out to tell the team. Willie Randolph in the meantime calls Chuck Knobloch down just to make sure that he knows what they want to do here.
Well, he knows that they want him to bunt, but I think he's telling him, you know, watch Vizquel at shortstop. If they put the wheel play on and shortstop opens up, take a swing at it. Try and chop one right through that vacated hole. This could be one of the key spots in the game. The Yankees have a chance to set up a pretty big inning by putting 2 runners into scoring position.
Knobloch had 2 sacrifices during the regular season.
That's not very many. And he doesn't bunt very often for a guy who's a leadoff hitter. He's not like Lofton. He's not the accomplished bunter.
The wheel, pickoff play at second. Heads up base running by Brosius, who went right back to the bag.
Yeah, we saw this play by the Indians early. They have Vizquel start running towards third. The runner at second thinks that he's got some leeway at second, but the second baseman, Wilson, will sneak in behind him. See, the shortstop's supposed to catch his eye. He thinks he has a safe lead, but the second baseman's coming in behind him.
The wheel is on, and the bunt down to third is foul. They move the shortstop over to cover third with the corners charging.
See, it helps to have a speedy shortstop because he can hold his position and then really take off. They're trying to get the ball bunted to Fryman, who will pick it up and then throw to Vizquel if it's fair. They try and get the force at third. Now Joe Torre. Oh, he might change up and let Knobloch swing while everybody's in motion.
And Mike Hargrove might change up, put nobody in motion.
Exactly. See, that's why this could be a key in this ball game if Knobloch can advance the runners.
Nobody out. Yankees have a 6-5 lead. This time swung on, fouled off, and they did not send Vizquel over to third. So both managers did change up. Torrey took the bunt off. Hargrove took the wheel off.
Watch Fryman come down. Vizquel will hold his ground. I think Vizquel thinks he could beat Brosius at third base.
He did last time. Now do you bunt with 2 strikes?
No. Knobloch, I don't think Knobloch is that good a bunter. He hasn't done it very often this year. You got to hope that he hits the ball and advances runners if he doesn't drive somebody in himself.
Again, he'll want to hit the ball on the ground towards right field. Towards the first, second base side. So Brosius, the lead runner, can get over. Vizquel moving over to hold the runner. And it's up high. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Knobloch.
I didn't expect that pitch to be a strike because of the 2 strikes, 0-2. You can afford to waste the pitch just to see if he's going to bunt.
And he wasn't. Hey, you know him.
Al Bumbry, former teammate and a good bunter.
1-2 the count on Knobloch. Not bunting, fouls it off. Stays with a ball and 2 strikes.
And Bumbry during his long career was primarily a leadoff hitter like Chuck Knobloch. 1980, first Baltimore Oriole ever to get over 200 hits in a season. Had 205. That record was since broken by Cal Ripken. But he scored well over 100 runs that year. It helped me drive in 100.
And you like that?
Oh, yeah. He was out there all the time that year.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Knobloch trying to advance the runners at first and second. Now bunts, popped it up. Nobody's going to get it. Foul ball, foul ball. Runner is out. And the other runners have to go back. And was that close? If that ball is touched, While the fielder's in fair territory, there's a real problem for Cleveland.
Yeah, it's not so much where the fielder is, it's where the ball is. And Knobloch trying to bunt. We mentioned he doesn't bunt very often, and he popped it up. Trying to surprise the Indians with 2 strikes. Pops the ball up. Now watch as Berber tries to catch the ball on the fly. The ball is fair, then bounces foul. If he touched it in fair territory, that would have been a major mistake.
Now, does Berber draw his glove back? Does he realize?
Now he can touch it. It's a foul ball.
It looked like after he started diving, he realized he really didn't want to touch it and kind of pulled his glove in underneath him.
Well, he came up short to begin with. You see Alomar right away realize, I'm not touching this ball.
This is the way a clinch game should be.
Wow.
Every pitch matters. So again, Knobloch jinxed in a bunt situation. This time on a strikeout as he tried to bunt with 2 strikes on it.
We've had 2 hitters do that tonight now. Vizquel in the first inning, and now Knobloch trying to bunt with 2 strikes. Neither one successful.
Still 2 on, but 1 away. Derek Jeter. Single and has grounded out twice in this game. Breaking ball, jammed him, right field, in the gap. Ramirez back at the wall. Oh, it's off the top. 1 run scores. Jeter's on his way to third. Throw to the plate, not in time. A 2 RBI triple for Derek Jeter. And the Yankees lead it 8-5.
Gary, when Derek Jeter hit that ball, I did not think it was going that far. He kind of fought the ball off of him, and we talked about Jeter's improved power over the years. This is his 3rd year in the American League. Had kind of an awkward swing. Kind of fights the ball off of him, but got good wood on it. This ball carries and carries and carries, and Manny Ramirez can't, well, he ran by the ball. If he'd stuck his glove out, he might have caught it. Look at this. He runs to the wall and leaps, thinking it's a home run, and it lands below him. He ran by the ball in the outfield. And 2-run score on the triple. A bizarre swing and a bizarre play in right field. Now look at Jeter. He's got all types of speed. So once that ball gets by, he's thinking 3-base hit. He's checking the runners in front of him. The Yankees have the 2 runs, and Jeter has the triple.
Derek Jeter. Watch this. Ramirez goes up and the ball.
He thinks it's a home run. And he runs by the ball. He could have caught it.
Manny Ramirez can't believe it. Derek Jeter comes up big. And the Yankees have an 8-5 lead, and Berber's out of the game. An error by Vizquel on the right. At least 1 run in this inning is unearned. A misplay by Ramirez on this one.
Well, he's back to the wall. He's looking at the ball now, and for some reason, he's up against the wall, and the ball is at the bottom. It looks like he's going to be able to catch the ball to me here, but for some reason, oh, he runs right by it, heads for the wall.
Infield is drawn in. Paul O'Neill. Ground ball. Jeter will hold at third, so the drawn in infield works there. As O'Neill grounds out against the left-hander Jim Poole. That'll be the only man he's going to face. So Poole comes on and works to 1 batter to get O'Neill out of there, and does. Now there are 2 down. Jeter getting his first RBIs of this series, 2 of them on the Yankees' first triple. Remains at third base. Poole will come out of the game, and he got the man O'Neill he was sent in to get.
The only hit that Dave Berber gave up was a ball that should have been caught.
And as we said, there have been at least 4 unearned runs, depending how this inning ends, in this game, given up by Cleveland, committing 3 errors. Dave Berber with a towel on his head, as Kenny said, giving up just 1 hit, but a costly triple to the man on the right, Derek Jeter.
Well, first of all, the reason why Jeter was able to hit the ball so far, he got good wood on it. Not his best swing. Alomar wants the ball. It's a slider, down and away. But instead, it's up and towards the middle. Jeter, while not great extension on the swing, does get good wood on it and fights the ball off. Ramirez might have been playing him a little cheaply in right field. And the ball was misplayed in the outfield. Should have been caught.
They change up in the bullpen now. They had Reed up, but they bring Shuey in as he got up in a hurry. Appearing in his 5th game in this series. He has been a workhorse here in the postseason. Bernie Williams takes a strike, a runner at 3rd, and 2 down. Yankees now leading at 8-5.
Ten strikeouts for Shuey.
He is not allowed a run in 7 2/3 innings of relief work. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bernie Williams.
Good fastball, good breaking ball, excellent split finger. When I say good fastball, I usually don't use that unless I mean about 92, 93, maybe even higher miles per hour.
Bernie Williams has already picked up an RBI with a single, 2 for 2 and a walk in the game. And Ramirez will not want to be watching that replay that everybody's going to be replaying on that ball he misjudged, and Vizquel committing an error that opened the inning up, allowing Brosius to reach on his throwing miscue.
When you make an error in the field, you hope the other team doesn't score.
Down low to Bernie Williams, 3-1, Jeter at 3rd.
And when you come back to the dugout and they haven't scored, you kind of breathe a sigh of relief. But when it kind of opens up the door, but you feel if there were a hole out there at shortstop, Omar would crawl into it right now.
A couple of big no-nos started this inning. The error by Vizquel and the walk surrendered by Burba to Girardi.
So we talked about the shifts in the momentum. They've shifted back to the other side now.
2 down, 3-1 delivery. Williams, base hit, RBI. Bernie Williams comes through. Jeter scores. 9-5 New York. Another unearned run.
You know, if you're Paul O'Neill in that dugout, in the Yankee dugout, after not driving in the run with the runner at 3rd base, you got to give a big pat on the back to Bernie Williams for picking you up. This is what teammates are all about. One doesn't get the job done, the other does. And in Bernie Williams' case, with 2 outs, that's a big momentum shift when you score a run with 2 outs. We've seen the Yankees score 4 runs in this game at least with 2 outs. A 3-run homer and now a single that drives in a run.
Bernie Williams with 2 RBIs in the game. Now has 5 in the series. He is 3 for 3 in this ball game, and now has 8 hits and 20 at-bats in the series. Burba charged with the 3 runs that have scored here in the 6th. Chili Davis swung on and missed. 1 strike count. Davis has struck out, reached on an error, and sacrifice fly for an RBI.
And with the Yankees picking up these 3 runs, Mike Hargrove knows that his ball club's running out of time. 3 innings ago, the Indians do have an explosive offense, but 3 innings represents 9 outs, and they can go in a hurry sometimes.
Keeping Williams close at first base. So Shuey coming on in relief. That's 7 2/3 innings of relief work without a run. That's gone. Yankees now with 9 runs on 10 hits in the game. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. 0-2.
Still appears that Shuey has a good fastball despite being worked in what'd you say now, 5 games out of the 6. The thing about it, though, the one he tried to throw by Bernie Williams, he couldn't get it by him on the inner half. The one that was delivered for the base hit.
0-2 delivery. Runner goes. Throw down by Alomar. Tagged by Vizquel, and they got him. So Bernie Williams caught stealing. Alomar got it on the money, but the Yankees do damage. An error and a walk started. Then Jeter rifling the first Yankee triple, picks up his first 2 RBIs. Ramirez misplaying a ball, and the Yankees 9, Cleveland. Vizquel committed the error on the left. Ramirez, who misplayed the ball. They opened the door, and the Yankees took advantage of it. Right now, the story in this game 6.
Well, you certainly don't expect Vizquel to make an error. We had talked about Manny Ramirez and his improved fielding, taking a lot of fly balls this year, but certainly misjudged that one and opened the door for the Yankees to score 3 runs and regain a fairly sizable lead.
And that, of course, is the mark of 2 teams. One with a negative as far as the Indians are concerned. The other, the positive, that the Yankees were able to take advantage of the miscue. Well, now Cleveland's going to have to try and come back again. Omar Vizquel leading it off. Takes the strike as we go to the 7th inning with a 9-5 lead. Ramiro Mendoza working in relief. David Cone still the pitcher of record for the Yankees. That'll be fouled off and out of play, and a 2-strike count on Vizquel. Now Vizquel, the hottest hitter, 1 for 3 in this game. Now 11 for 23 in the series for Cleveland.
The key for the Yankees here with Mendoza on the mound is get that first guy out in every inning. The ground ball pitcher that he is, if somebody should get on base, capable of getting ground ball and the possibility of double plays.
In at third was Brosius, makes the throw. And indeed, the leadoff man is retired.
4 outs recorded by Ramiro Mendoza out of the bullpen, all 4 on ground ball outs. That sinker ball is working.
That will keep him in the game. Jeff Nelson, Mike Stanton. Stanton, the left-hander. One down. David Justice. Justice drew a bases loaded walk, got an RBI in the 5th inning when Cleveland scored their 5 runs. His bases loaded walk and the grand slam home run by Jim Thome have accounted for the Cleveland runs. One ball, 1 strike count. We aren't talking about the law there.
Yeah, well, don't we all?
That one left center field, not deep. Leday in. Two down in the 7th inning. Major League Baseball returns to the land of the rising sun next month. Slamming Sammy Sosa, strikeout king Curt Schilling, Red Sox phenom Nomar Garciaparra. They'll be leading the Major League Baseball All-Stars against their Japanese counterparts. It's the 1998 Japan Tour, played in Tokyo, Osaka, and Fukuoka. November 6th through the 15th, the dates. Check your local broadcaster for the time and date in your area.
I hope the major leaguers have as much fun as I had on that tour way back in 1979. We sent a Major League All-Star team over there, and it's not only the games that you play, it's a chance to see a country and all the culture of Japan. We got to visit a Shogun house. I mean that was amazing. Everybody saw the featured film here, Shogun, and read the book. Thick book. Took me a long time to read it, but
big book.
A lot of history over in Japan to see.
Great people. That one lined by Ramirez for a base hit. Leday, nice play to cut it off. That'll hold him to a single. Fans applaud the play by the left fielder, Ricky Leday.
Well, we told you that Ricky Leday is an outstanding outfielder. And what he does here is hold Manny Ramirez to a single, keep him out of scoring position. First of all, getting there, and then somehow maintaining his feet and turning around and getting the ball back in. So Ricky Leday making a, which looks like a little play, but actually it's a big one because it keeps Manny Ramirez on first and not able to score on a single.
That's why Joe Torre had him starting for defense. Jim Thome, the grand slam, but at the time pulled the Indians to within 1. Got it off David Cone. But the Yankees have had big innings in this game. 2 in the first, 3 unearned in the 3rd inning. Then the big 3-run 6th inning. Total of 5 unearned runs in this game for New York. Thome arguing with it.
This is a grand slam in the 5th inning. A slider that hung right in the middle of the plate, and Thome touched it off. My goodness, halfway up in the upper deck in right field.
2-strike count.
Gary, you mentioned the 5 earned runs by the Indians tonight. The teams that make the playoffs are usually teams that are very reliable defensively. They make the plays. This is not the night for the Indians defense to go south, and it did.
A lot of unearned runs in any game. Jim Thome's tied the record now for the most postseason home runs in 1 year. He's hit 6. The grand slam that he picked up. Bernie Williams, one of those, tied with him. Ken Griffey Jr., Lenny Dykstra, and Bob Patterson of the Pirates. Bob Robertson, rather, of the Pirates. 3-ball, 2-strike count. So Thome, a big home run push here in the postseason, coming off the DL, getting back late in the year. Thome up there now with 1 on, 2 down. 3-2 delivery, runner going, and he's gone. Mendoza. No runs, a base hit, 1 left on from Yankee Stadium. 7th inning stretch time in Game 6. Anticipating at Yankee Stadium, a 35th American League pennant for these Yankees, helped by this.
Cleveland Indians not so sharp defensively tonight. The wrong game for them to fall apart with the leather. 1 error in left field, 1 at second base, an unexpected one certainly at shortstop, and then a misplay out in right field. Not credited with an error, but that was a triple on a play that should have been made.
Chili Davis, the designated hitter, was at the plate when Bernie Williams was thrown out to end the last inning, so he will resume. Here's that bat, started over again actually, and a 1-strike count. Paul Shuey out of the bullpen, gave up the single to Williams, only batter he faced in that last inning. 9-5 Yankee lead. Strike on the outside corner. David Cone, the pitcher of record for the Yankees, who gave up the 5 runs and 7 hits over 5. Nagy lasted only 3 innings for Cleveland, gave up 6 runs, 3 earned on 8 hits. Cleveland has never led nor been able to tie this game up. Up high, 1-ball, 2-strike count. Yankees jumping out again in the first inning with 2 runs, 1 in the second and 3 in the third, before Cleveland got on the board with their 5 runs in the 5th inning.
Notice how all the hitters sit together on the bench, all the pitchers sit together. While they might be all on the same team, there's a different union. Hitters like to talk hitting, pitchers like to talk pitching. See, it's 4 hitters in a row on the bench, at least 4.
And they're talking hitting.
No, talking hitting, yeah. But finally you get to a pitcher who's picking on a hitter. See, Curtis is in the wrong place there. He's in between 2 pitchers.
It's his lifestyle. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Shuey misses down low with it. So a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I wouldn't be surprised if Chili Davis gets on here that you'll see Homer Bush come on out and run. And Joe Torre trying to build an extra run with a leadoff man getting on.
Shuey with a 3-2 delivery, fouled off. Yankees trying to do to Cleveland what Cleveland did to them last year, knock them out of the postseason.
That's Homer getting loose down there. He knows that his time might be coming, stretching those hamstrings, tying those shoelaces tight.
Shuey again, 3-2. Left field. Homer can sit down.
Got a scare.
Chili. One away here in the 7th inning. This copyrighted telecast the property of the Office of the Commissioner of Major League Baseball, intended for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited.
And right out of the Office of the Commissioner, Paul Beeston, who years ago used to run the Toronto Blue Jays.
He's the CEO of Major League Baseball, in charge of the day-to-day operations under Bud Selig, the new commissioner. 1 strike count on Martinez. 1 down, nobody on, 7th inning. Tino Martinez a 1 for 3, 2 for 19 in this series. No play on that one. Strike 2.
Yeah, when you hitters are in a long slump like Tino Martinez is here in the postseason, one thing that you can look for when they start to come out of slumps, they make hard outs. They start to hit the ball a little bit better. But that has not been the case for Tino. He's gotten 1 hit tonight, but he has also struck out twice. So that kind of tells you that he's not out of it, even though he's 1 for 3 tonight. He'll tell you that I'm not seeing the ball well. You know, wherever I look for it, they throw it somewhere else.
He has struck out 10 times now in the postseason.
Yeah, that's not like Tino Martinez when he's going well. I mean, for a guy who hits a lot of home runs, does not strike out all that much.
Shuey down low with that one. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Yankees trying to move on to the World Series.
Okay, 2 more hitters sitting together. Three.
Fouled off, stays at 1 and 2.
I mean, that's any bench in Major League Baseball. You see the same thing. They're talking shop.
And they don't want the pitchers to hear it because they might have to face them next year when they're on different teams. Pitchers feel the same way. 1-2 breaking ball up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See, there's David Wells and El Duque. Now, I don't know how much they're talking, but, you know, they can gestures.
Fouled off. Getting out of the way, Derek Jeter.
Yeah, they know that the Indians are down to their last 6 outs and they're 4 runs behind.
2 ball, 2 strike pitch, and that's down low. So the count taken full on Tino Martinez, 3 and 2.
And if anybody knows it, Joe Torre does. He's thinking ahead, though. Those other guys might be kidding around. He's not smiling. He won't be until the Yankees win, or if they win.
Mike Hargrove pacing. Inside, he lost it. So the walk given up by Shuey. A 1-out walk to Tino Martinez here in the 7th inning. They'll give Ricky Leday a chance with a runner on. Hargrove and David Justice and Mark Wiley, the pitching coach, moving in there a minute.
I think he just motioned for Wiley to get on the phone, and maybe some stirring will be done down in the Cleveland bullpen. They're talking hitting too. Hargrove was a pretty good hitter in his day. Yeah, Louis Isaacs is going for the baseball, and somebody's getting up.
Only 1 away. Leday up. 0-1 count. Leday in the ball game is 0 for 3, looking for his first postseason hit with the 0 for 5. And the 0-1 swung on and missed.
Good split finger fastball from Paul Shuey. Pitch is designed to look like a fastball. You throw it towards the middle of the plate, so it looks really good to the hitter. And then when he goes to swing, boom, it just disappears.
0-2 pitch, little chopper. Going to be cut off by Fryman. Gets it over there in time to get the out. He had no play at second base, so Tino Martinez will move down to second with 2 away. Scott Brosius gets the hand. He's had a lot to do with the Yankee lead in this game.
The Yankees have a decision after the season is over with Scott Brosius. He can become a free agent. The Yankees are going to have to decide whether they want to keep him. They have a prospect down at AAA named Mike Lowell, who had a pretty good year.
He had a career year.
Yes, he did.
And he's delivered in this game a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning, and then reached on an error and scored in the 6th.
The Yankees got Scott Brosius from the Oakland A's for Kenny Rogers, the left-hander, who had a pretty good year in Oakland.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get rid of Kenny Rogers so badly that the Yankees played most of his salary this year while he was playing for the Oakland A's.
And they do it again based on the production of Scott Brosius. Brosius with the 98 RBIs this year all came at the bottom of the order, hitting either 7th, 8th, or 9th. Those 98 RBIs out of those positions in the batting order, the most in the majors this year. You get that kind of production at the bottom of the order, you are in great shape.
Yeah, early this year when Derek Jeter went on the disabled list with a pulled muscle in his side, Joe Torre moved Scott Brosius up to the 2nd spot in the order. After about 2 or 3 games, Brosius wasn't doing anything. And Joe Torre put him back down in the 7th, 8th, and 9th spot. He started to hit right away.
That's going to be an intentional walk. Yankee fans talking about the Indians to that side. Mike Hargrove, 3rd longest tenure of major league managers in a job you usually don't get to stay in very long. Kelly at Minnesota, #1. Bobby Cox, Atlanta, #2. Hargrove 3rd. Torres piling up some time now with the Yankees. These winning years. Breaking ball and a strike call to Joe Girardi.
Under Joe Torre, the Yankees, in the 3 seasons that Torre's been the manager, won over 300 games in the regular season.
0-1 delivery. Grounded. Shuey, I don't think got that. Played by Enrique Wilson over, and that'll get the out. So Girardi retired. No runs, no hits. 2 base runners are left on. We've completed 7. The Yankees, making a drive to go to the World Series, have the 9-5 lead. In order for there to be a game 7, the Cleveland Indians are going to have to come from behind in this game. The National League Championship Series will be continuing. Their game 6 tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 Greenwich Mean Time. However, if the Yankees win this game tonight, that game will change to 8 o'clock Eastern, midnight Greenwich Mean Time. So the Yankees win. That becomes a later game. The Braves and Padres moving back to Atlanta. Travis Fryman will lead it off as the Indians are running out of outs in their 1998 season. They've got only 6 outs to work with as we go to the 8th inning. Trailing 9-5. Having pulled to within 1. At 6-5, the Yankees blasted away for 3 more in the 6th inning.
6 outs away from being dethroned as the American League champions.
And a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Anticipation here at Yankee Stadium.
Fryman 0 for 3 in the game. Inside outs that one down the right field line. 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, this has been a series that's been dominated by pitching and defense. And tonight, the Indians did not defend very well.
Just missed. Big breaking ball by Mendoza. Mendoza's come on to give up just 1 hit in the 2 innings that he's worked. Towards the middle. Jeter. Tough throw. Great pick. Major league play all around.
Well, first of all, Jeter was playing Fryman to pull the ball. Didn't expect this one to head towards the middle, but watch how quickly he gets rid of it. Squares up, gets it accurately to Tino Martinez, who has to dig it out. When you move it like this, it's tough to make an accurate throw. Accurate enough that Tino Martinez can pull it out of the dirt for the out. But Derek Jeter, well, his range goes from Queens to the Bronx.
Down the left field line, foul by Brian Giles. The Yankees finished third among the 14 American League teams in fielding percentage. The Indians were tied for 6th.
But Derek Jeter, a couple of years ago, Joe Torre took a chance. Used a rookie shortstop. They won the world title with Jeter playing shortstop as a rookie. Was the rookie of the year in the American League. I wouldn't call him exactly a seasoned veteran, but he plays like it.
Breaking ball is outside. 2-ball, 1-strike count on Giles. Brian Giles with a 1 for 3 in this game. 1 down, nobody on. Pops that one up. Third base, foul territory. Brosius. 2 down. Two away. Great job by Mendoza coming out of the bullpen for David Thome.
He's been doing it all season long. Mendoza, as a starter and a reliever, been very, very effective.
As Kenny said, the bullpen's ready if needed. Stanton's the left-hander. We'll get a pinch hitter, Sandy Alomar, coming out of the game, and Jeff Branson will be the pinch hitter. So Alomar, obviously his problems continue. Get the left-hander up here, but a much less experienced hitter. Center field, Bernie Williams. And a 1-2-3 inning. Cone could be the winner. Mendoza's retired 9 of the 10 batters he's faced in relief. Yankees lead at 9-5. Anticipation building at Yankee Stadium. The 9-5 lead. Yankees trying to wrap up another American League pennant. Enar Diaz will do the catching with Alomar out of the game. Paul Shuey remains on the mound. Chuck Knobloch, the leadoff batter. 1 for 4 in the ballgame. And you can see, as Kenny noted earlier, David Cone there with Wells. Cone on the left to be the winning pitcher. They're that close. And a strike taken by Knobloch.
Yeah, one thing we looked up in between innings, though, David Cone has never won a game this year going as few as 5 innings.
It'll be his second shortest outing of the year. This outing of just 5 innings. Breaking ball misses by Shuey. 1-1.
He'll take it, though.
Cone trying to go 2 wins, 1 loss, and 2 no decisions in the 5 clinching games that he has pitched in his career. 5-3 overall in the postseason. And Knobloch's got a base hit. Leadoff single in the bottom of the 8th. Eleven hits in the game for the Yankees.
Yankees would like to get that at least one more run here. That would give them a 5-run lead. And we already saw a grand slam tonight from Jim Thome. And that's as many runs you can get with 1 swing of the bat. 4. If they can get that 5th run, that 5-run lead, breathe just a little bit easier.
Derek Jeter, huge triple in the 6th inning. 8 triples during the regular season. First Yankee triple in this postseason. 2 RBIs, first 2 he's had in this series. Fouls that one off for a strike. He is 2 for 4 in the game. 5 for 24 in the series. Delivery to him. Breaking ball fooled him. He fouled it off. Strike 2.
El Brujo been working the magic tonight with Miro Mendoza. allowed just one hit since coming on out of the bullpen for David Thome. We talk about teammates picking each other up offensively. How about on the mound? Scott Brosius with a big night.
2-strike count. Lob toss over to Thome at first base. Get Knobloch back. These two teams had been headed for the lowest batting average in an American League Championship Series. 221 is that number, combined number set by Cleveland and Seattle in 1995. They may get over that tonight with the 19 hits we've had put up combined.
I think from Joe Torre's standpoint, first time he's seen his team hit the ball well in this series. And maybe the Yankees, who led the league in runs scoring, if they can win, hold on, get into the World Series. Of course, you're facing a whole new set of pitchers you haven't seen much of.
Swung on, foul tipped, and not held on to.
Well, it's the Atlanta Braves. Well, they saw them a couple of years ago, but the San Diego Padres they haven't seen much of.
Braves trying to do what no other team has done. Let's go down 3-0 in a series, 7-game series, and come back and win it.
And with interleague play, the Yankees did play the Braves this year 4 times.
0-2 delivery that missed inside. 1 ball, 2-strike count. David Wells, a huge postseason. He'll be in consideration. If the Yankees win this, there'll be an MVP announced for the League Championship Series. Bernie Williams certainly will be considered for that. 3 for 3 in this game. That one is fouled off. Williams won that MVP back in '96 for the Yankees, and has certainly contributed hugely in this game and in the series. He's had a couple of RBIs here tonight.
Bartolo Colon charting what a pitcher does. He charts the previous game before he pitches.
Preparing for the next one, of which there may not be one. Foul back again by Derek Jeter, holding it at a 1 ball, 2-strike count.
Every pitch that's thrown by a pitcher on his team, he marks down what pitch, what location, and what the hitter did. Pitching coaches and the pitchers will go over those charts, and they'll look at them all winter long. The pitching coach will take them home, go over them all winter long, and go over every other hitter in the league and try and figure out a formula for how to pitch him the next year.
1-2 delivery. Jeter, a good at bat, but the battle is won by Shuey. That is the first strikeout Paul Shuey has had in the game. 1 away. Knobloch still on at first base. And Paul O'Neill will be coming up, and Mike Hargrove is on his way out. So the left-handed hitter due up. Paul Assenmacher, the left-hander, is warmed up in the bullpen. He'll take the ball from Shuey and bring the left-hander on in relief. And he knows, even though he's pitched well here in the postseason, may not be enough to carry him on. Yankees trying to wrap it up in 6 games. Have this 9-5 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, you mentioned wrapping it up in 6 games. Postseason history for the Yankees when leading 3-2 with Game 6 at Yankee Stadium. World Series of 1926. They lost Game 6 and 7. I'll get back to that in a minute. 1947, they lost Game 6, won Game 7. In 51, they won Game 6. 1953, 51 was against the New York Giants. 53, they won Game 6. 77, they won Game 6. And in 96, they beat the Braves and won Game 6. In 1926, when they lost games 6 and 7, in the 7th game of that World Series, they were playing the St. Louis Cardinals. The Yankees lost. The World Series ended when Babe Ruth tried to steal third base and was thrown out.
Even the great Babe made one of baseball's inexcusable mistakes.
Yeah,
right?
but I bet you they did yell at him.
Pretty good chance. Paul Assenmacher, the left-hander, comes on for the Cleveland Indians. Yankee fans still waiting to celebrate, hoping to go to the World Series that will begin on Saturday, game 1. First 2 games will be played in the American League ballpark. The Yankees win right back here for game Saturday, Sunday at 7:30 Eastern time. Then the middle 3 games will be played in the National League ballpark, either Atlanta or San Diego. And if games 6 and 7 are necessary, it would be back at the American League ballpark on October 24 and 25. All of those times Eastern Daylight Time for the 1998 World Series. We'll have all those games for you. Major League Baseball International's coverage will be continuing throughout the World Series. And many of you will be seeing the game tomorrow between the San Diego Padres and the Atlanta Braves. If the Yankees win this game, it'll be an 8 o'clock Eastern start. If the series should go 7, then it would be a 4 o'clock Eastern start tomorrow.
Over in the National League, looked like it's certainly like the World Series is going to be in San Diego, but the Braves have rallied to win 2 games and get the series back to Atlanta.
Well, if any team's going to pull the impossible, coming back from 3-0 in the best of 7 that nobody's done, it would be the Atlanta Braves with that great starting pitching staff they have. But they haven't done it yet. Assenmacher's ready. Paul O'Neill coming up. O'Neill in the ball game, single and scored in the first, 1 for 4. Runner on at first base, Knobloch with 1 down. The bullseye for O'Neill if he can pull one in the right field porch.
But he's had all kinds of troubles against Assenmacher in his career, and that's why Assenmacher's in the game. Mike Hargrove didn't hesitate. Bring this lefty in. O'Neill says, I can't pick up his breaking ball.
No play on that one. Foul back, strike 1.
And as far as O'Neill is concerned, that first breaking ball is probably the one you want to hit. He hit the first pitch in Cleveland and flied out to right field on Assenmacher, because that first breaking ball is the one he wants to get over the plate for a strike. The successive ones are going to be a little nastier than the previous ones because he's ahead on the count 0-1.
1 down. 0-1 the count on O'Neill. Not a big lead at first by Knobloch. That's the pitch that Assenmacher gets O'Neill out on.
You see, the first one's a strike, and he has to swing at it, but then he goes away a little further. After he's run the count 0-1, he can, tease him a little bit more, get it a little further away. And O'Neill actually helps him out by swinging at this one. That was a ball. So the count goes 0-2. This next one might be even a little further away. See if O'Neill will swing at it. Whoa.
He got him, came in with high heat. So a .290 career postseason hitter, Paul O'Neill, just doesn't want to see any more of this man. Assenmacher, 2 down.
If you ask Paul O'Neill 50 years from now, who was the guy you didn't want to face? Paul Assenmacher. Without hesitating, he'll tell you that's the guy. He's about 3 for 27 lifetime. 3 for 25 with 11 strikeouts. Go home.
2 down. Bernie Williams, switch hitter, will bat right now with Knobloch still on. Bernie Williams, 337 right-handed, 339 left during the regular season. Can't be much more consistent. Down the line and right, long run. Ramirez over in fair territory, makes the catch. No runs, a base hit, 1 left on. We've completed 8. The New York Yankees are 3 outs away from wrapping up their 35th American League pennant. Major League Baseball International's presentation of the 1998 American League Championship Series is being brought to you by MasterCard. Gary Thorne, Ken Singleton, and our crew here in New York. 3 outs away from being World Series bound for the 35th time.
Flashback. 1996, October 13th, Cecil Fielder with a home run at Camden Yards against the Baltimore Orioles. Then the final out with John Wetland on the mound. The ground ball to the shortstop. Jeter dug out by Tito Martinez, and the Yankees were on their way to the World Series and a World Series title.
96 against Atlanta. Could be a rematch this year. The man who's almost unhittable. Rivera on in relief. 3 outs, all he needs. The Indians down by 4. Enrique Wilson, the rookie, has gone 1 for 3. Lofton and Vizquel will be due up. And a strike taken.
Wilson was the batter in Game 5. That Rivera struck out to end the game.
Down to third. Great stop. Brosius, can he get it there? Yes!
Well, I've counted at least 3 excellent plays by the Yankees defensively tonight. 2 of them by Scott Brosius. And you can't get much better than this. Remember, Wilson runs very well, and he gets him by a good full step. There's the dive, recovers, unleashes the throw, and gets him. What a play. Once again, another look at it. That's a fair ball headed down the line. And look at the reaction on the bench.
David Thome could be the winner in this game. Kenny Lofton leading it off. Brosius, a huge game. Rivera working in a hurry. Rivera has worked in 7 postseason games now. 8 1/3 innings. He has given up 1 hit. 1 hit. Look at the career numbers. 2 down.
That's called slamming the door.
There have been no base runners in this series against Mariano Rivera. None. Omar Vizquel. 1 more out, and the Yankees are the American League pennant winners.
Cut fastball, strike 1.
In 29 innings that Rivera's worked in the postseason in his career, the batting average against him is 158. He's got unbelievable numbers in tough situations. They are rocking Yankee Stadium. 2 down. Vizquel, the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Go back to spring training. All that work. The Yankees knew they had a good club coming out of spring training. The Indians knew it too. The Indians, the reigning American League champs.
Yankees looking to win their 118th game this year. They've already set the major league record for most wins in a year. 1-1. A chopper. The American League pennant belongs to the Yankees.
will expect nothing less than a World Series trip out of you.
Oh no, we enjoy this. I mean, people don't understand how hard it is to do with, where we're at now. So we enjoy it. We have a great time, and then when the World Series comes, we just go for it again.
Now you get 3 days rest while the Padres and the Braves duke it out. Any preference in your opponent?
I don't think so. I think we're just excited to be there, and we're just go out and take our shot with whoever we got.
Well, thank you very much. Enjoy the celebration tonight. I have a cap here, the American League Championship cap, which I imagine will be very wet with champagne in the clubhouse in about 5 minutes. Gary, Ken, back to you.
Julie Croteau with Scott Brosius with just one big smile on his face as the Yankees head in for the celebration. All the lockers covered with plastic.
Well, everybody knew the Yankees were on their roll when you go back to May in this season. They sort of took over the American League Eastern Division. And once they started to roll up victory after victory, I think that nobody expected anything less from the Yankees than at least a trip to the World Series. And certainly their fans, now that they have gotten there, they expect this team to win it too, whether they play the Padres or the Atlanta Braves.
They'll go to the World Series for the 35th time. They have won 23 World Series championships in their illustrious history. They win this one 9-5. David Cone over Nagy, the winner and loser.
We're going to take a look at our Pepsi play of the game. You have to go back to the third inning. Remember, there's 2 outs now. The Indians have already made an error in this inning. So these will be 3 unearned runs on the home run off the bat of Scott Brosius. Straight away center field. And at the time, the Yankees looked like an insurmountable 6-0 lead. The Indians rallied for 5 runs, but the Yankees added on later and went on to win the ball game 9-5. That is our Pepsi play of the game.
So the Yankees did it the way they did it all year long, combined pitching and hitting. And when Rivera comes on out of that bullpen, just look for big zeros. He did it again. Cone on the left, the winner, watching the final out. They'll be back to Yankee Stadium in just a minute.